M2HK coming back at you today. I've got a few topics to tackle. As always, I'm Don or Donnell, whatever you want to call me. That's Jalen, Don Tavius. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Got some serious topics with us today. We got one serious and two sports topics.
Another sports topic. Go figure.
Well, sports are dwindling down now, so this is probably the last sports oriented until we start.
We're not gonna make any promises.
Yeah. If something happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the first topic is serious. Other two are sports. But regarding the first, did you hear about the girl in Britain?
I did.
Yeah.
Just recently, actually.
Yeah, because we just talked about it.
Yeah.
But it's not so. As you guys know, I'll do a quick recap. There's a lady in London. I think she was pretty young. She was not over 30. She was like 20 something.
20, yeah.
Something. She met a guy. Was it on
Tinder?
Met a
of
guy.
course.
Met a guy on
Check
Tinder.
out our online dating app tips if you haven't already.
For sure. And actually, what we say in there is relevant to this topic in terms of being safe. This is what we're gonna be talking about.
We'll leave a link.
Yeah. But the girl, she dated a guy for a while. I forget how long, but they ended up breaking up, like a lot of couples do. And the guy ended up stalking her, ensuing the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of tension around this whole thing because the girl went to police before the killing of her. She was telling them that he's stalking me, he's scaring me, I'm scared for my life. She was telling her friends, she's told the police. And
she was even saying it right before the murder, actually.
Yeah.
She was like, I always feel like he's just like right over my shoulder, like literally right before it happened.
And it's crazy because right before she was killed, she was in the gym, and the guy had went to her next to the gym and started working out beside her like a creeper. She told her mom's like, hey, my mom, this guy's just right here and he's stalking me. And she left, went to her car, and when she went to her car, he was there waiting for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stabbed her a lot.
With a kitchen knife.
Killed her. So we're not going to be going into like too much about, what could have been involved, what could have happened or whatever. It sucks. We pray for her family. Shouts out to her family. Prayers up. I hope they make it through this. It's tough to lose anybody in your life. But it's more about, there's a lot of backlash around this where girls are saying this is why we don't come out when we're scared against the guy, because we think the guy is crazy. You don't know nothing about the situation. We're trying to protect ourselves, etc. And what do you have to say to that in terms of that? And what do you have to say to that in terms of that response?
I just feel like you should always, come forward regardless of, because, I think this is one of those situations where obviously she didn't get the help that she needed.
Unfortunately.
But I feel like majority of the time you're going to get that, assistance, especially like I don't know how she went about it, but I mean, if you have evidence that he's doing these things, I'm not sure how laws work in other countries. Like this was in the UK obviously, but I know here it's really hard to get like a restraining order or something like that. You would need that kind of evidence, but if I heard correctly, I believe he was like harassing her via messages and stuff like that.
So there was some.
So yeah, I mean, if she brought evidence forward, there'd be a way to kind of get like a restraining order or something like that, to where if he does come close to you, then you can call the authorities and he'll go to jail. But yeah, that's not the right way to look at it at all, in my opinion, because you should always go try to get that help. And I feel like I said, eight times out of 10 you're gonna get the help that you're asking for, that you're wanting.
And that's a lot better than just holding it in for years and years and letting the abuse just go on and on and on. This is a very particular case. The guy killed her in 15 days. Not saying everyone's going to be killing whoever, but you're more than likely going to have more time allotted, and the guy is just out of his mind when he's stalking you or scaring you or whatever. So, like we both know, every situation is different. You ladies, actually had to protect yourselves in terms of situations. Be cognizant of situations, know where you can go to get help, and go about it intelligently, and don't just give up. Don't give up, because you have to protect yourself. At the end of the day, you have yourself to protect yourself. and you have an obligation to yourself to go out there and get help. We want you guys to be safe. Same thing, and the Tinder thing. Protect yourselves on these apps. If you do date a guy or go on a date with a guy, meet him in public, right? Meet him a couple of times, get to know him, all that before you just go into his house. And you go to his house, go in the daytime. Have someone on the phone in your pocket. Just be safe. We want you to be safe.
Just send that address out. Obviously, wherever if you have an iPhone that has that share your location.
Hell, anytime I go somewhere, I'm sure my location would dawn in my mom's.
So, vice versa, obviously, and so it's just do whatever it takes to protect yourself. This is obviously a very dramatic situation, and they're not all gonna end like this, but yeah, definitely, and you should always try to go get that help that you're needing, and if they're not paying attention to you, go to someone else. Keep trying. You can't just give up or whatever. You gotta tell as many people as it takes. But because we don't want it to end like this, obviously.
Yeah, I want you guys to be safe. All right, so on to a little more subtle topic. Lebanon James and the Cavaliers are having a debacle.
They are crumbling before our eyes.
Yes, and everyone thought that they were going to run away with the East. No one expected the Celtics to be this good. We always expect the Raptors to be that 3-4 seed, which they are. And it's crazy because LeBron, he commands respect wherever he goes. But recently he went up to the executives, and he was trying to have a conversation with them regarding trades, and they weren't having it. He cussed them out. LeBron James said, like that. Like that. And now it's really crazy. So the question is now, will LeBron waive his no trade clause? This guy he's not going to do it, by the way. But they want him to trade it, Dan Gilbert and them, they wanted to trade him so they can get something for him.
Because at the end of the year, he's obviously going to walk away for free. The Cavs won't get anything, and then they'll be back to where they were when he left for Miami.
Yeah.
And that's not what they want, obviously.
Right.
We would want that. You kind of look at it like LeBron, he's from Cleveland, so should he care enough to give them someone else? That's like one way to look at it, like, oh, well, that's your hometown team, you should still care, but at the end of the day, he's still a competitor, and wherever he goes, he's going to want to win, and so the way he's looking at it, why help this team that's really, not really done much for him? They gave him a start, I guess, granted, but other than that, they haven't really done, much for him, so...
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be interesting to see LeBron, in a different system, because right now he has complete control over the Cavaliers.
Everything.
He's practically the general manager,
Yeah, which him going up to try to make general manager type moves and getting shut down, he didn't have it.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, and if he goes to a place like the Spurs, where
they have a coaching system, even Houston...
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna fly.
And I think the moment that LeBron James, since we're going to go ahead and make a transition about LeBron James' future, if he was to go to a more constructed system, being the play system and the way that the organization works, LeBron's going to know the moment he steps in is that he's just a player. You may be that guy in Cleveland and all that. You are Cleveland, all this, that, and the third. You went to a Miami Heat team that Dwayne Wade opened you with open arms, so you guys had that mutual understanding. But it's not you coming to a one person or coming into nothing. You're coming into an established organization, whether it be, and we're saying Houston and San Antonio, because it just makes more sense for him to go to these two teams.
Yeah, so I know people have thrown out LA. I know he kind of got rid of the whole Golden State rumor, which that was never going to be a thing anyway.
It's blasphemous.
But yeah, those three teams I think are probably, I would tell him not to go to LA because they have a good thing going. Got a young team. You don't want to mess that whole flow up.
And LeBron wants to win championships now.
Yeah.
And Lonzo Ball and Kuzma, as great as Kuzma is, and Brandon Ingram and the whole gang, they're not going to bring you a championship at the end of LeBron's tenure. He's not going to lean on a bunch of.
Not for another 3 or 4 years.
I think the Lakers, I think they averaged to 24-year-olds. Like, that's
Yeah.
which is really up. And LeBron is what, 32, 33,
Yeah,
something like
so-
that. And he's got at least 4 years. LeBron's great with his physical peak form. He knows how to stay healthy. He barely gets injured. And I think honestly, I would love to see him in San Antonio, because him and Greg Popovich already have an understanding of each other. They respect one another. Popovich is the best coach, in my opinion, that in a long time, if not of all time.
LeBron's even come out and said that as well. So
yeah, so he would fit right in there. In terms of talent and firepower, you got Houston, which James Harden and Chris Paul are wrecking shit right now.
The only problem with that is, Chris Paul and James Harden they're both such good distributors, and you know how LeBron loves to handle the ball, carry it up the floor. So he would need to take a step back, I feel like, for them to be most successful there. Let them get him the ball.
Yeah.
Because he can't just come in and because Chris Paul's not. While Chris Paul can score, Chris Paul's he's deadly on his defense and on his passing. He's not gonna kill you with off ball screens or whatever.
Yeah.
So LeBron's if he were to go to Houston, he would need to take a step back. Let Chris Paul play his point guard role how he can, and he's just gonna have to
It'd probably be good for LeBron though to do that though.
It would definitely might even
elongate his career.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing if he goes to Houston
and not only that, also if he went to somewhere like Houston or San Antonio, he wouldn't have to have the extra stress of worrying about the team, or even we joke around a lot like he's the coach, which I feel like isn't always a joke,
Right.
So he wouldn't have that added stress, which another that could add a few years onto his career, because if things keep going like this in Cleveland, what's to say LeBron's I'm done, I'm walking away from this, but obviously he's not. Everyone knows he's not going to stay in Cleveland next year.
Right.
There's no reason to. Cleveland.
The team's given up the season.
They have. We were watching them. What was that, Saturday night against Houston? They were just
getting obliterated.
Yeah, even your mom was there watching with us, and she's like, I've never seen anything.
This has to be a historical game.
She's like, I've never seen anything like this before, and it's true. Houston was just doing whatever they wanted with them, and it really honestly did look like Cleveland was just. They just given up,
So do you think that there's any rescuing their season this season? It's still not after the All-Star break. You know how some teams do turn up after the All-Star break?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they might have they'll get a breather. Everybody will calm down after the All-Star break. Kevin Love will maybe come back if he doesn't get traded.
I don't think he wants to play.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean,
so do you think they make it out of East?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think
they're beating the Boston Celtics.
I think they'll make it to the conference finals with no problem, because who's gonna challenge them, But they don't get their act together now, then the Eastern Conference Finals are definitely gonna go to the Celtics.
Well, the trade deadline's coming up. There might be some moves before we even see an All-Star game.
It's true, a lot of talk about DeAndre Jordan, Lou Williams, people like that.
He's off the trading block.
They took him off.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, DeAndre Jordan maybe could come over to the Cavs. I know the Cavs have talked about having him. So a player, if they were to get a player like that, that'd be something. To salvage the season a little bit, a little added motivation.
But who's gonna want to come knowing that LeBron's gonna leave?
Yeah,
IT said it himself, every man for themselves in this organization. And today's his birthday. Happy birthday, IT.
If you see this. But I mean, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Obviously, right now this team, they won't make it to the finals.
And if they do make it to the finals, they're gonna get smacked by Golden State.
Four game sweep, and every game's gonna be like a 30-point blowout at this rate. But.
Yeah. All right, so Super Bowl 52. It was a good game. High flying, the most yards ever in Super Bowl. Tom Brady versus the myth, the legend, Nick Foles. Shout out to him. I wish I had confetti spray. Shout out to him. Tom Brady did not win. There was a lot of controversy with Tom Brady not approaching Nick Foles after the game and shaking his hand, because all previous Super Bowls, it's customary for the quarterback to come. Do you think that's a big deal at all, that LeBron James, that Tom Brady didn't approach Nick Foles?
Definitely kind of speaks to his
character.
everyone talks about how can you not like Tom Brady? He's such a nice guy, but it's easy to be a nice guy when you're winning all the time.
Yeah.
But when you lose, you're faced with some adversity, and you pull something like that. That's. But at the end of the day, you can't really say too much. I guess. I mean, he's still a great player nonetheless, and
not the greatest.
I think. I mean, you can't say he's not. I mean, he's had this dominant run. Patriots, we always talk about that this dominant team, but if you look back, they have 5 Super Bowls, which is dominant.
Mm.
But if you look at the last 8 years, they've only won 2.
It's been interchangeable.
Yeah. So obviously you can't deny the Patriots are still a great team, but and Tom Brady's a great quarterback, but the thing we've even talked about this, like we say Aaron Rodgers, we both agree Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Which
his ability to score is just uncanny.
If he were on the Patriots.
And the Patriots, I was watching First Take. Shout out to my boy Steven A. I know you're watching this. But Aaron Rodgers is having discrepancies with the organization in Green Bay because they traded his quarterback coach. I mean, I didn't trade him, but they let go of him.
Right.
And Aaron Rodgers did not like it at all.
Right.
How dare you do this to me? I guess all I have is my quarterback coach and some other people. And they traded him without telling him. So if he were to do something like that, I wouldn't see it happening. I see Tom Brady playing for at least 3 more years. This guy just is the way he moves the way he moves in a pocket is just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe now he threw his little tantrum after the game. Maybe now he's like, I don't know.
I'm quitting with Gronk.
But
because Gronk's talking about retiring too.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Because I saw the interview. It's like I don't know how you heard that. Like it was like a private conversation or something. But he was like, but my future's definitely in question. I'll think about it. But I don't really see him retiring. Gronk. I mean, he's still dominant.
Yeah. Biggest. He's probably just pissed that he lost.
Yeah. So.
I lost.
But I mean, obviously the head situation, that's a scary situation now,
Yeah.
and that's why a lot of people are quitting or not even playing. So like we talked about a few times on the show, but
well, let's bring it to the Philadelphia Eagles, their first Super Bowl ever.
Yeah.
I know the NFC East is now even more competitive. I hate the NFC East so much.
The NFC in general is scary. I mean, you honestly, if you look at the AFC, every year it changes.
Yeah.
But if you look at this year, the AFC, you have the Patriots and the
Steelers.
I mean,
that's really it.
No one was talking about the Jaguars.
It definitely flipped because at the beginning of the season, those AFC, it was all big hype, and then it literally had a paradigm shift like in the middle of the season.
The NFC, if you have a healthy Aaron Rodgers the whole season, you have them and the Packers.
Yeah, the Seahawks.
The Packers and the Vikings dominating the North.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Panthers, the Saints, and the Falcons all in the South.
Yeah.
Then you look at the East. The Cowboys are going to be back next year, like it or not.
Yeah.
You have the Redskins, who just got Alex Smith,
which is Alex Smith deserves more credit, and I feel bad for the guy because he doesn't really get the love he deserves.
Yeah.
The people keep it's because he's not a glamorous quarterback. It's because he's not going to shoot you down an 80-yard drive every single time he's down the field. But he'll get it where he needs it to go, and he has his very high quarterback IQ.
Yeah. I was actually seeing some stats like him and Kirk Cousins are essentially the exact same quarterback.
Which is why they felt nothing when they traded Kirk Cousins. So,
but yeah, you have the Redskins. They'll be decent. The Eagles, of course, who 20 out of their 22 starters are going to be back next year.
Carson Wentz, the MVP, should have been.
Yeah. So, and then obviously, like I said, the Cowboys will be back. And then you look at the West. The Seahawks are,
Seahawks in the NFC.
Richard Sherman got hurt this year, so but he'll be back next year. Obviously, Russell Wilson, who
is a competitor.
Did you see Russell Wilson? He got drafted also in MLB when he got drafted in the NFL. And so I
thought that was a joke.
No, so the Texas Rangers owned his his MLB rights, I guess, and they traded him today to the Yankees, which. Obviously, he's never going to play.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Yankees have that in their back pocket.
Just in case. Just in case he wants to pull a Jordan and go play some baseball.
Yeah. So that's something today. But yeah, the Seahawks will be back. The 49ers are actually they're scary. I mean, they have that defense. a young defense, and they have Jimmy G.
Jimmy, and that's the thing too. You got some of these quarterbacks who, because this year definitely wasn't the year of good quarterbacks, but it's setting up for a really good year for quarterbacks. Yeah. We have a really good quarterback pool coming out of the draft actually with Baker Mayfield, the kid from USC. Yeah, hopefully. And you know, us Broncos, we need a quarterback. We have every single piece, and we're thinking about shopping Akib. And just there's just a lot of things, moving pieces. So I think this season definitely laid the way for the next, which I'm assuming is going to be a great season.
This year it was scrappy. You know, at times it was kind of hard to watch, but I think it's definitely because there's a lot of young talent out there. Yeah. A lot of young players coming up in the works that are going to take it's going to take a few years to develop them really. But yeah, looking forward to next season already. You know.
Yeah.
I got like 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be at the draft, so
we will.
Should we vlog that?
I think we'll be filming there a little bit. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. That's coming up, I believe, next month or
the draft,
or the month after. I think it's in April. So yeah, I got like 2 months before that, and then yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. So that'll be some content for you guys. You know, we'll be there. Hopefully, the Panthers get a good pick. The Broncos get a good pick.
Come on, Baker. You know you want to come here. I don't want the kid from USC. I want the kid from USF, even though he's not going to be in the draft this year. Mackenzie Milton. Yeah. So if you're watching this UCF quarterback, come on over, Baker Mayfield. Come on, show it. You got 1 year to prove your worth, but I know the kid from UCF is going to show out when he comes, because he's coming. It's a wrap. And Chandler, he wants what? He wants Lamar Jackson for the Patriots, which that could be a whole dynamic shift.
I mean, you definitely have to get rid of Belichick. I don't think he's going to be having that. But
a really fast black quarterback? Oh no.
No.
Hell no.
All right. So I think that does it for us today. Actually, I have one thing I would like to say. We've been watching this freshman sensation, Trey Young.
Oh no.
Obviously, everyone's talking about him. Okay, this is my final take, if you will. And I was just watching the game against West Virginia. I watched the last few minutes of it, and they had a chance to win the game, but they just collapsed. And I've watched a few more Oklahoma games. I know we have. And the thing that upsets me is all of the people in Oklahoma are Division I athletes. They all got scholarships to play for Oklahoma, a great basketball school, a great university in general. They all deserve to be there. But when you're watching, even ESPN, they have Trey Young, they have his stats up the entire game. They have his points, his steals, his turnovers,
right above the scoreboard.
Right above it, so everyone can see it. That's ridiculous to me. I get it, he's good, he's a good player, whatever. But he doesn't deserve any more credit than the rest of his teammates. And it's gotten, in my opinion, it's gotten in his teammates' heads to where, we have to give Trey Young the ball. None of us are capable of doing it. Which, that's just ridiculous. You know, and it comes down to the coaching. I said this before. Among other things, the media, everything, hyping up this kid. I'm sure the coaching, obviously, the way it looks to me is the coaches are like, you got to get the ball to Trey Young, which that's just not true. It's not, Trey Young's a great player, but everyone else there can compete at this level. You don't make it to a Big Ten, a Power 5 conference, or a Big 12, sorry. You don't make it to a Power 5 conference being terrible. So, every time they get a rebound or whatever, they look to force the ball to Trey Young, even when he's not open. And that's how they lost. Eventually, they ended up losing the game to West Virginia in the final seconds because they were forcing the issue to Trey Young. And you just don't need to do that. That's my final take. I think, Oklahoma, if any of you guys see this, you guys just play for yourselves. Play how you know how to play. Trey Young he's a crucial part of your team, don't get me wrong. But you all have the talent to be there. You all deserve to be there, and I feel like, you all can contribute. But yeah, that's all I have to say. That's gonna do it for us today. Mid to high key. Look for some more content. We're looking to upload, every day, like I say.
Probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, you're seeing this probably on Thursday. So tomorrow, Friday, is Jalen's birthday. So everybody, leave a happy birthday to him in the comments. And as always, leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and we will see you next time.
Peace.